WHDH 1050.
And back again now, hour two today of Bob and Ray and the sound of music. And our two candidates here in the studio with us who are debating hourly or half-hourly will be along, Mr. Lancaster and Mr. Sturdley. And we hope to squeeze in a trip to Club Bob and Ray.
Then we'd better stop talking and get to our work. Get away from the piano, kid. Now, that song's all over.
Close the top, but lock it.
Right.
That'll keep him out of there.
Oh,
Happy to welcome back today our good friends at Schraff's.
Oh, hi, gang.
Audience, I know you're familiar with Schraff's, particularly you men. A couple of them were telling me before the show that they go there every day for lunch. I think you, sir.
You probably saw my picture in the paper. I was standing there saying I wouldn't take my worst client to Schraff's. But I've changed my tune now since I've been over there. Well, I thought they were lady tea clubs.
Oh, in those ads, yeah.
Watercress sandwiches, I thought you'd get lemonade, and women sitting around with their shoes off on the way to the matinee or something.
You found nothing could be further from the truth, didn't you?
Why, I thought it was like the Elks Club I was in there, and the men were going, and the drinks are perfect, and the food is, par excellence.
Right, and it's big servings, too, right?
Well, yeah, they're all right. I mean, normal.
And don't you find the atmosphere very conducive to talking over business and like of that?
Well, I had a little card game going at my table, Bob, and I didn't much care about other things. And we ate and then had a little card game, and it was wonderful.
Well, Schraff's welcomes all of you men for lunch or for dinner. Taking the little woman out, stop in at Schraff's.
Or the big woman, if that's the case.
Yeah, you'll like everything about it. The food, the drinks, the service, and the atmosphere at Schraff's. Just don't walk on the grass over there. And now the Bob and Ray staff is very happy to allot the next minute to Mr. Ralph Moody Lancaster for an answer to Mr. Sturdley's last appearance here a half an hour ago. Mr. Lancaster.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to facts. Let's stop this shilly-shallying around and this small backbiting established by my opponent, Mr. Sturdley, in his broadcast of yesterday last. The fact that he served in the United States Army, which he touched upon, does not in any way indicate that he is the rightful candidate for the office. As a matter of fact, as technician 5th grade, in charge of PX supplies, I happen to know that my opponent did not see action of any type. This, again, you may call dirty fighting. If he doesn't want to call it that, well, he has his own reasons. To get down to the facts, we are approaching a very important election in a very important campaign. And we must take all of the matters into consideration, and I hope you do that before you go to the polls.
Time is up, sir. That's all.
Right now it's 18 after 5, and here's a special introductory offer guaranteed in writing. What's that? Yes, Mr. Sturdley will have a chance to answer him.
Well, that's good. I've been listening very, very closely to both these gentlemen, and...
Well, getting into war records now, that's kind of...
Yes, they're getting on subjects that have nothing to do at all with the point at
They're wasting their valuable radio time.
Yes, but you go right ahead.
It's something you want to be sure and take advantage of. Don't waste the chance. Guaranteed in writing an introductory offer, complete $50 dance scores for only $5. You receive 20 half-hour lessons at any Dale Dance Studio, all for just $5. Learn the cha-cha, the tango, the foxtrot, the twist, the ever-popular minuet. Now, this is a limited offer made to introduce new people to the fabulous chain of Dale Dance Studios. And you're not obligated to take additional lessons. Dale wants to prove to you there are no finer studios, no finer dance instructors, and no better prices anywhere in America. Dale wants you to join in the fun of their gay dance parties. But remember, you must have one of Dale's special introductory dance course certificates. So for yours, call Murray Hill 2-6800. Murray Hill 2-6800.
You want me to stop the orchestra now?
No, it's good. It's very good.
All right.
Free certificates will be mailed to the first 100 adults who call. You'll receive a guaranteed 20-lesson dance course worth $50 for only $5. So call for your special introductory certificate, Murray Hill 2-6800, MU2-6800. Wish you could see our audience dancing around to this music. It's great.
Something,
really got in the spirit of it.
Something very graceful about a minuet, and done by a group of lumberjacks such as we have here today is something unusual and pleasant to see. See that the people who are so rough and ready can
they're light
do
on
the
their
minuet.
feet, oddly enough. I guess that's from rolling logs, huh?
Well, it's from hearing the cry timber. Bob,
Yeah.
you've got to be quick when you hear that.
Sprightly, huh?
Yes, sprightly. Now, it's time for another debate, isn't it? Let's hear this rebuttal.
Ladies and gentlemen, sitting at home looking at my radio yesterday and listening to my worthy opponent, I jotted down a few notes, which I would like to pass along to you, and which I feel at this election eve hour are most important in your consideration of whom to vote for when you go to the polls. Fact number one is the issues in the campaign, which we have barely touched upon in these short minutes of radio debate, so to speak. These issues should be more fully covered. And a note is being handed to me. Excuse me. Oh. It seems I've been called away on urgent business pertaining to the city.
You've been indicted.
And I'd like to thank you all again for your attention. And may the best man win. What do you mean, indicted?
Time is up, sir.
Shocking state of affairs there.
It's funny that this should happen on our show today. It's getting embarrassing for us. We'll have to hear the other gentleman.
Mr. Sturdley will answer him shortly.
Oh, boy, will he have an answer.
Come on, let's go, go, go with Rockefeller, the man we want to win. New York will grow, grow, grow with Rockefeller. More jobs, more homes, more everything.
More things for more people than ever before in New York State history, and all on a sound basis with a balanced budget. That's the Rockefeller record, with school aid up 60% to a record $1 billion a year.
Friends, this is Nelson Rockefeller. The tremendous increase in aid which my administration is giving to our schools has meant more schools and less crowding, more attention to each child, and better paid teachers. I hope we will have your vote to keep building for our children.
To keep things go, 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 let's go, go, go with Rockefeller.
A paid political announcement by Citizens for Rockefeller, Javits.
Now we're going cross town for a little short visit anyway at Club Bob and Ray. Come in, Claude and Clyde.
Hello, everybody. Quickly, we're going up on the stage now because things are beginning to happen here at Club Bob and Ray as the first show is about to start. The house lights are dimming, the curtains are parting.
Can't believe it's Alan Sherman and his folk singers again.
Oh, wonderful. They're big, big favorites here at Club Bob and Ray, as they're favorites everywhere. But now let's turn the microphone on up there at the stage.
Where are you hiding? If you don't come right now, I'm gonna tell you, boss, on you. Hey. Don't bring me water.
seltzer. 'Cause water don't bubble. And water don't fizz. Water, I hate it. 'Cause it ain't carbonated. But a glass of seltzer, on the other hand, is. Don't bring me Pepsi. Don't bring me a Kool-Aid. Don't bring me a malted. And don't bring me champagne. I'll tell you what, boy. Bring me one scotch and soda. Then you'll take back the scotch, boy, and leave the 2 cents plain. Seltzer boy, I'm gonna tell Mr. Meltzer on you. Seltzer boy.
And with that, we return you now from Club Bob and Ray to their studio.
Thanks, Claude and Clyde. Right now, we have an old friend of ours on the phone, and yours too, calling from Fitzwilliam, New Hampshire, Webley Webster, who tonight presents an evening with Webley Webster there at Boone Hall. Webb?
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, just fine. Anxiously looking forward now to the curtain going up tonight.
8:30. That's a little over two and a half hours.
Yeah, that's right. Wally Balloo's here.
Yeah?
And we went out and we had dinner together.
You've eaten dinner already?
Went over to a diner here in town, and they had La Rosa there, so we had some lovely La Rosa spaghetti.
Hey, great.
And sauce, and then we had some nice bread, and...
You knew what to order, then.
Well, when I saw that, I said to the fella, do you have La Rosa spaghetti? And he looked at me like, what else? Is there any other kind, he said?
Good.
I said, no, I guess not.
Yeah.
So we both had that.
Did he cook it al dente, so it was firm and...
I didn't go out in the kitchen.
No, I mean the way you cook it is al dente.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of firm to the touch.
That's right, to the taste, to the bite.
Yes, that's it.
And in your case, that's a problem. That bite of yours.
Uh-huh.
But you know, hang on a minute. I just want to mention that La Rosa, from coast to coast, is the biggest selling brand of spaghetti, macaroni, and egg noodles. And you look through that package window. It's never a dull beige. La Rosa is pure gold. And on your plate, it's never dull either. Never a lifeless gray. A definite taste difference, too.
Are you talking to me or to the listeners?
To you and the listeners.
Well, look, I'm paying for this call.
All right. Well, let me add the 3 generations of experience make it the finest macaroni on your grocer's shelf. Look for the blue package with the red rose of La Rosa. No problems about tonight, huh?
1 or 2 problems. Some of the scenery didn't arrive for my, the one-act play.
Yeah.
The stove didn't arrive, and the kitchen sink.
You going to cut that out of the act, or what?
No, it all takes place in the kitchen. What I'll do is ad-lib around the fact that this is a funny kitchen with no stove or sink.
Hey, that's good. That's kind of quick thinking.
Well, Wally helped me on that. He said, why don't you just say, hey, this is a funny kitchen?
Uh-huh.
And
I ought to cover it.
Let it go at that.
Yeah. Are you in good voice? You all set for the songs?
Oh, yeah. The pictures are here, and everything is going to be swell, I think.
Okay. Well, we're anxiously waiting tomorrow.
Last-minute addition to the evening with Webley has arrived. I'm going to have a falcon come right down out of the balcony and take a peanut off my shoulder.
Hey, well, watch out. They're kind of dangerous, I've heard.
I know they are. Yeah.
Okay, Webb, good luck, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Well, you'll be here tomorrow, and we'll have the playback of what happens tonight, huh?
Yeah, well, I may stay over the night.
You better. You'll be tired.
I'll be tired, and I want to read the reviews in the morning papers up here.
How many papers they have up there?
I don't know. It comes out Saturday.
Oh, well, don't hang around for it.
No, but
so
I mean,
long.
at least I can talk to the critic.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Webb. Webley Webster, any of you folks up in Fitzwilliam, New Hampshire, who have to be here, drop by Boone Hall tonight, and maybe a few tickets left you can take in this evening with Webley. You've been listening to these debates this afternoon between Mr. Lancaster and Mr. Sturdley. You noticed that last time we heard Lancaster, he was handed an indictment right in the middle of his speech. I think it's now Claude Sturdley's chance to have the upper hand, so let's go over to Studio B for his rebuttal. Mr. Sturdley?
My friends, my supporters have gathered up enough funds for me to make another appearance at these microphones before you vote. Hardly gentlemanly would be my conduct if I were to comment on what happened to my opponent yesterday. But it happened on the air when a note was passed to him that a panel of his peers had seen enough guilt in him to indict him. I hope he can prove his innocence. That's all I will say on that. But I'm sure that when you vote, you will have to take into consideration who you are voting for. Is it a person who will dispense the duties of his office at the town hall or at the county clink? It's a simple decision to be made. It's one that you have to ask yourself. What? Well, on what basis? This is a trumped-up thing. I've been indicted, too. Who did this? Panel of my peers? My friends, I now say goodbye to you and wish you all good luck, and that's all. I'll be out of here.
Boy, oh boy.
Wow.
This is really a sticky thing going on there now.
Certainly is. I feel sorry for both of those gentlemen. We'll follow up a little bit later, and maybe we can have another report from them.
Sure.
From wherever they happen to be.
Before we go off the air tonight.
Make a note of that, Mr. Victor, to check up where they take them, will you, please?
in New York.
Zsa Zsa Gabor got married for the fourth time today in New York City. Hubby number 4 is Herbert Hutner, a 54-year-old industrialist. The ceremony, performed by a state Supreme Court justice, did not include the word obey. During the ceremony, the bridegroom leaned over to kiss the bride, and the judge had to say, "Hold it, it's not over yet." And then when he'd pronounced them man and wife, the judge informed them, "This is it." The delayed kiss was approved.
In these times, it's important that you know names in the news. Can you identify this voice of a WHN name in the news?
He opened his mouth and he closed his eyes. And he swallowed the terrible record of that good-for-nothing 80th Congress.
Listen again to WHN's Name in the News.
He opened his mouth and he closed his eyes. And he swallowed the terrible record of that good-for-nothing 80th Congress.
WHN will award a 2,500-page Webster Dictionary and Home Reference Library to each of 5 listeners whose entries are selected from among all correct answers received. Put today's entry on a postcard and mail it to Name in the News, WHN, New York 22. WHN 1050 for the sound of total information news around the clock.
I believe I know who it is.
Yeah, well, I tell you now, that's so easy, I don't think we'll give the name there.
I won't even say my name.
Nope. You just, you know who that is, and
That's
send
all
the
right.
card in.
It's all right. Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. The story of a young girl from a deserted mining town out west who comes to New York to try to find romance and security as the wife of handsome Harry backstage, Broadway star, and what it means to be the wife of the beloved idol of a million other women. We'll get to today's episode after this word.
Which stamp plan is best? This lady knows.
We're at the S&H Green Stamp Center on South Broadway in Yonkers, and this is Mrs. Spalding. May I ask you why you do your shopping at stores which offer S&H Green Stamps?
Well, I find I get more value for the money, and I get gifts.
Do you find that the gifts that are offered are better than the other stamp plans?
I like the selection, and I find that you get more for less stamps.
Do you find your friends also switching?
Yes, because they found that they get more gifts. We've compared, so we know.
Yes, thousands of smart shoppers are switching to stores that give S&H Green Stamps. They've discovered that S&H Green Stamps are worth more than any other stamps. So they get more gifts for fewer stamps, better gifts for fewer stamps.
You're so smart to save America's most valuable stamps.
S&H Green Stamps.
America's most valuable stamps.
Shop at Acme Supermarkets and W.T. Grant stores. Get low, thrifty prices and S&H Green Stamps, America's #1 stamp.
Pop Beloved has been spending the weekend going over his case for the backstages against the worst person in the world. And Mary and Harry have invited him to stay over until the court trial begins in some weeks. Now, we see the three of them, together with Calvin L. Hoogovan, their next-door neighbor, sitting in the living room of the backstage home and discussing the prospects, as we hear Mary say.
Well, I don't know. I think that he's trying to discourage us from going to court.
Well, of course he is. He knows full well that litigation could be a long and expensive process, and even if you win, you don't always come out the financial winner.
No, that's very true.
Well, we still want to fight it, Pop. We've made up our minds that we'll try to get the worst person to move his house from next door. I know that, Harry.
Well, as a person who's essentially disinterested, living in town and having nothing really to do with it, I would like to lend my support. Say,
what is it, Greg?
That pin you're wearing, Mary.
Yes, it was given to me many years ago by my bequesting grandmother.
Let me see that, Mary. I noticed it earlier. I haven't seen you wear it before. It's beautiful.
Isn't it?
It seems to reflect the entire spectrum of color. I can see reds and blues and greens.
And that metal, what's the metal in that pin, Mary?
I don't know, but it's some wonderful alloy that is long-lasting.
That certainly makes that dress look much better that you're wearing.
It never tarnishes either.
Is that so?
It will never need to be polished.
Hey, what's that? A special patented safety clasp on the back which would prevent you from losing it if you were out walking down the street?
That's right. And you'll notice that these stones are all beautifully simulated.
They're cemented on, aren't they, Mary, with a special cement that would keep them from falling out?
Yes.
It certainly is.
It's a good luck charm, actually.
Really? You get good luck with it, too, huh?
Well, I've never seen anything so beautiful as that pin.
No, Christmas is not far away, Mary. Wouldn't it be nice if you could give a copy of that pin to all of your friends?
I wish I could.
Be too expensive, Harry. You could tell by the expensive look on it, and that's patented safety clasp. But to duplicate it would be unheard of.
Yes, you can see by the light it reflects that it's just too expensive an item.
Boy, you'd stand out in any crowd wearing that, Mary. I'll bet you've had a lot of compliments on it, haven't you?
Yes, and I wear it with pride.
No, you certainly can well do that, Mary. It's beautiful. But getting back to the case. Yes, I'll be working on it a few more days. I'll have a report for you maybe tomorrow.
It is beautiful. Beautiful.
And so plans are underway at the backstage home to go into court to battle against the worst person in the world. Be sure and stay tuned every day, because on Friday, Mary Backstage will have a special offer for all of her friends. And join us tomorrow when we'll hear Mary say...
See, it has a secret compartment here, too, where you can carry a picture of a loved one.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.
Well, let's see. What did you say about midget auto racing, Bob?
Yes, we're going out to one of the foremost midget auto tracks, which opens tonight just a few miles north of New York City, where Wally Ballou is standing by with a taped interview with some of the drivers.
Okay, Wally Ballou, please. Come in at the Drome.
Oh, man, this is Wally Ballou again. Once again, another season of midget auto racing will begin here this evening. The drivers are warming up their midget auto racing cars in preparation for the big starting whistle, which will start another round of exciting races. We have some of the drivers in the pits here now, working over their cars, and I'd like to speak with you first, sir, if I may.
Yes, sir. I have a 6-carbureted job here.
That looks like a pretty fast little buggy.
This will get up and go for you.
How much speed can you get out of this?
Oh, of course, the oval here, of course, isn't too long. You can't open her up full. But I get her up to 80, 85 miles an hour on the straightaway, and then I cut her down to 60 maybe at the curves.
Just for safety's sake. Is this the costume you wear while you're driving, this Musketeer suit?
Well, it's the best suit that fits me.
I see you've all gone in for gimmicks.
I don't care whether I get it dirty, see.
What's that?
I say I don't care whether I get it dirty. That's why I wear it.
Uh-huh. Some of the other drivers, I might point out, have unusual costumes. One over there is dressed in the costume of Willie Hardtack. And another driver is dressed up as Little Lord Fauntleroy. I suppose all of this has something to do with your nicknames, doesn't it?
Yes, to a great extent. Like they call me Mousy, and call the other fella Jockey, and... What was the other one you mentioned?
Little Lord Fauntleroy.
Yeah, and they call him Fauntleroy. Little.
Well, now, what do you think your best competition is going to be?
I think it's going to come from car number 8.
Oh, that's that big blue job over there.
Yes. There it goes.
Maybe you
down
can hear
now.
the hum of its powerful motors in the background.
That's being driven by Barney Bonaparte. You see how he gets that name?
Oh, he's dressed up like Napoleon, I see.
That's right.
Who's the fellow over there in his car with the trombone?
With the trombone. Let me see, where is that?
Looks like Bobby Byrne and his orchestra.
No, I don't think it's Bobby Byrne. It could be, though. I don't know who that would be.
Uh-huh.
No. I don't know him. He's a new one, I think.
How many people do you expect will be out here tonight to see you fellas kick off for the season?
Well, of course, it's still a little breezy, and it's chilly, and also, of course, we have a lot of competition with, unfortunately, some nice, spectacular TV shows tonight.
And there's a drive-in theater right over there on the other side of the track, I noticed.
And I don't think we'll get more than 40, 45 people.
Well, good luck to you anyway on your start for this season, Mousy, and we'll certainly be looking to see how you made out tonight.
Okay, the results will be in tomorrow's paper.
Right on. And this is Wally Ballou sending it back to Bob and Ray in New York.
In New York.
Okay, thank you, Wally.
That's the signal for us to go again.
Back again, 25 minutes before 6 o'clock on a gray Monday. Of course, it's dark now, but the snow at least has been taken out of the forecast for this vicinity, and that's good news.
Apparently, it should be easier getting home if it had been snowy.
Thank you, and hello again, everybody, back here for Thing for a Day, or the Bob and Ray Show. What kind of things are we today, anyway?
Well, this gentleman over here says he has to leave, but he was set up for a short interview and demonstration. Dr. Wilford.
Would you hop over, sir, please? No, I didn't mean hop, walk. It's a term I use.
Yes, sir.
Well, I noticed by your accent that you're an Englishman.
Yes, that's correct. I'm from Sinking on the Marsh.
Sinking on the Marsh.
Yes.
I know that's the name of the town, but is it damp in that particular area?
Quite,
I mean, you get
yes.
quite a bit of rainfall. Well, what brings you to these shores?
I have brought a medieval orchestra to this country.
Oh, really? How old is the average musician?
No, you don't understand. The orchestra plays old medieval instruments such as the pipes, the recorder, the tabor, lyre.
What's that?
Lyre.
You looking at me?
Yes.
Well, I haven't said anything.
No, that's one of the instruments.
Oh, I know. Lyre.
Yes.
Yes.
The clavichord, the harpsichord, and like that.
Well, were you invited over here, or did you just come?
We just came.
And do you plan to be booked into theaters and nightclubs or dance halls or what?
Well, we hope to be. We've been in this country 7 months now.
Do you knock the rock, sir?
Beg your pardon?
Do you knock the rock? I mean, do you dig this rock and roll music?
No, I don't believe I've heard that one.
Oh, it's a new type of music that's very popular here in this country.
Yes. Well, I brought along some of the musicians who would be kind enough to give you a demonstration of.
Well, how long would it take them to set up, sir?
They're all set up.
They're all set up?
They carry most of their instruments.
Okay, well, let's listen. This would be a medieval orchestra. That would be, what, around 14th, 15th century?
Yes.
Something like?
We should like to play I Like the Flowers in the Spring, Opus number 3.
Flowers. Good.
Gentlemen. They're tuning up now.
That's what I suspected, yes.
It doesn't do much good. We expect to stand up on the Ed Sullivan Show right after Governor Muskie.
Is that so?
Yes.
Congratulations.
From the audience, you know.
Let's listen to the music.
We'll be on the stage.
Who's the fat fella playing the recorder?
That's Hartswell.
He looks like Friar Tuck in the TV series Robin Hood.
Oh, it does?
He does.
Yes. I might say these are all serious musicians. Your tabor, your clav.
And that's it. And
That's
that's
it,
I
yeah.
love the flowers of the spring.
Opus
Boy,
3.
that's terrible, isn't it? I wonder how the
Yes.
people ever stood that back in those days. I suppose that's why they went to war so much.
Thank you very much.
Entirely welcome. Thank you for coming by, Dr. Wilfred, what was it, Puddleby?
Yes.
From Sinking on the Marsh, England. Good luck to you.
And once again, with the theme Old MacDonald Had a Farm, played on a recording by his wife, we present Dean Archer Armstead, head of the Lackawanna, New York Field Station and director of Bob and Ray Agriculture Products. Dean, what's the good word from Ms. Armstead?
Well, I hear from mutual friends. She's down the hill to Columbia, riding around on a mule owned by some coffee farmer down there.
Oh, that's all. She's really traveling around.
She had the nerve to write to me just about 10 days ago. At the field station for money.
For money? From you?
She won't get a nickel out of me. I'd just lie down in a bed of poison ivy.
I
wouldn't give her a nickel.
Well, Dean, let's not go into your personal problems here.
You brought it up.
You're going to present some sort of an experiment that you've been working on at the field station, is that right?
Yes. We discovered at the field station, Bob, that chickens respond to authority. By that, they can take
orders, you mean?
Orders,
Is that
and
so?
it helps. You wouldn't see, they're the vulture family, Bob. They need discipline.
Yes,
They're
excellent.
vultures at heart.
What are we going to see and hear in the way of chicken commands?
I have a tape recording.
A tape recording, yes.
That we're going to hear. We use Charlie Hasselby. Now, he's a former sergeant in the army.
Oh, a drill instructor kind of. Does he use foul language on these chickens?
No, he... I didn't know that you cracked jokes, Bob and Ray. No, but you'll see just how he controls these chickens and how he gets more eggs.
All right, can we see this demonstration as Drill Sergeant Charlie Hasselby from inside the chicken house gives the orders to these chickens?
Fall in, let's go. All the fowl and coupes, line up. With the guide, hold up his wings so the others can fall in beside him. Okay, fall in, let's go.
Well, this is amazing. They're standing
straighten
at
out that
attention.
line. Okay,
Pretty
ready?
much at attention.
Front, okay. At ease. Now listen, chickens. When I give you the command, you're to jump up into the nests that you'll see right in back of you and lay eggs. At the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that clear? Any questions in there? Now, prepare to jump into nests. Jump.
They're all following that command, all right.
Okay, you're all right. At ease in there. At ease. Now, let's prepare to lay eggs. Ready? Lay eggs. Hop, hold, hip, hold, hop.
This is
hold,
really ridiculous,
hip,
Dean.
hold. Now, Any chick in there who didn't lay an egg indicate by clucking once, would you, please?
Truly
What a
amazing.
fine bunch of chickens you are.
Just about every one of them
Now, let me
clucked
tell you something. We're going to stay here all night till we get some eggs. So let's get on the ball. I've got all night. I haven't got any
All
place
right.
to go, you know.
Will you cut the line
Here
with
we
the
go.
chicken house, please? Dean, that sounds like a pretty chicken outfit to me.
Bob, I had no idea that you were a comedian.
No, actually, how is the military technique working out at the field station?
Well, we found it not working too well. It's still experimental, as you know. You see, you get one bad, unruly chicken, and he can ruin a whole outfit, a whole flock. They become an undisciplined mob.
Well, Dean, I'm terribly sorry.
Boy, I hope she falls off that mule.
You have been listening to the director of Bob and Ray Agriculture, Dean Archer Armstead, head of the Lackawanna, New York Field Station. This is Bob Elliott.
And this is Ray Goulding. We're on the air waiting for a report from our correspondent, Wally Ballou, of the world-famous Boca Raton Hotel and Club in Boca Raton, Florida.
Ray, we've got a terrific show today. The Boca Raton Hotel is the site of the 28th Annual International Festival of Kazoo Players. Can you imagine that?
And they are from all over the world, Bob, more than 1,000 of them. I had no idea kazoos played such a big role in modern life.
Oh, it does boggle the mind. 1,500 kazooers. Or is it kazooists?
We'll ask Wally. He's on the air now. Wally? Wally?
Lee Ballou speaking to you from the fabulous Boca Raton Hotel and Club in Boca Raton, Florida. This has to be the most fantastic hotel I've ever seen.
Wally?
Stately palms waving over gorgeous grounds, priceless antiques, old-world decor and charm.
Wally?
All overlooking the blue Atlantic. 200 cabanas, a sparkling white beach.
Wally!
Yes, Ray?
Look, everybody knows about the Boca Raton Hotel.
And, well, they should, Ray. When you think of the majestic cathedral dining room, the blend of modern convenience with Spanish charm...
Wally?
Yes, Ray?
Look, we sent you to Florida to report on kazoos.
Well, I planned on getting to that. It's fascinating. I've got the report right here, as a matter of fact. The kazoo is a musical instrument consisting of a tube, open at both ends, with a hole in the side covered with parchment, against which the performer sings or hums.
Well, that's it, Wally. I mean, that's your report?
Well, Ray, there's not a whole lot you can say about kazoos.
Well, look, Wally, we promised the audience a terrific show, and you've let us down again. You've been in Florida 3 days, and you've done nothing.
No, Ray, that's not true. I've played golf. I've got 4 championship courses. I've played tennis, 36 great tennis courts. I've shot skeet. I got a rub down. I had lunch at the Cabana Club. 7 restaurants here. The one in the tower has a view that'll knock your eyes out. Ray, you just don't call that doing nothing.
Wally, my notes say you're to interview the president of the Kazoo Association.
Well, I planned to, but he's out deep-sea fishing. This hotel overlooks the Gulf Stream, you know. The fishing is fabulous. They've got a whole fleet.
But what about this other interview, the winner of the Silver Kazoo competition?
I'm glad you brought that up, Bob.
Ray, I'm Ray.
Ray, you won't believe the problems. Huziki Suzuki happens to be Japanese, doesn't speak a word of English. But on the kazoo, you can't imagine the music he makes on that little instrument.
Well, now that's better, Wally. And you have him there with you, do you?
No, he's shopping. Fabulous shopping here. But he was here to make a recording of his performance.
Well, now that's good thinking, Wally. Let's hear it.
Well, we would, Ray, except, well, you know, to record, you got to push down both of the little buttons.
Well, Wally, it looks like you've botched it again. Your job is really on the line.
What I can do, I have a kazoo here, the same type Suzuki played, and I could give you my rendition of his song.
Wait, Wally, I can't believe a Japanese played Tut Tut Tootsie Goodbye.
All right, Ray, actually, he played some dainty little Japanese piece. All I wanted was for you to get the feel of it.
Wally, surely you must have somebody there you can interview. Holy
No, Ray, I'm standing here all alone outside the hotel's great hall. Wait a minute. Sir?
Yeah?
I see you're carrying a kazoo. Are you a kazoo player?
Oh, nine, my boy. I'm the world-famous psychiatrist, Professor Hummel.
Aha. Well, if I may ask, just what's your connection with the kazoo convention?
Convention? We don't call them conventions no more.
Oh?
No, we call them group meetings. It had to do with the wife. Convention, the wife says, whoop-de-doo-buster. You ain't going to no convention without me, you know?
Well, just what do you do here at the group meeting, then?
Well, now, Dumkov, what do you think we do at a group meeting? We sit around and meet in the group. Watch out there. Step aside. Look at that. Those big bookends don't care for nothing.
This is Wally Ballou at the Boca Raton Hotel.
Say, Wally, can you speak up? We can hardly hear you. It sounds like you're in the middle of a herd of elephants.
I can't hear you, Ray. It's this herd of elephants I'm in the middle of. Bob, Ray, they're marching. Would you believe that? 2 by 2 in perfect step into the great hall of the hotel. Big doors are opening. I'm walking into the hall now. Bob, Ray, this is truly an impressive sight.
Elephants? It must be an impressive sight.
It's not the elephants, Ray. It's the great hall. Never seen anything like it. The ceiling is 22 feet high. They have a hydraulic stage. Activity going on everywhere. The elephants must be part of the big show they're rehearsing. Here's a gentleman who seems to be in charge. Sir?
Get the elephants quiet, okay? Can you make those elephants be quiet?
Sir?
Indians to make up. Will someone please get the Indians to make up? Script girl? My God, nothing's ever simple.
Excuse me, sir. I'm Wally Ballou. I'm here on an assignment.
Is the Grand Kazoo Chorus ready?
Wally Ballou, is it? Well, 22 kazoos to you, Wally. Dudley Doodleman, Wally, director of the 28th Annual Extravaganza, Kazoos Through History.
You've staged this show every year for 28 years?
No, we've planned it every year, but until now, we've never found a hotel which could handle it. The Boca Raton Hotel is out of sight. We can do things here we couldn't do anywhere else.
Well, it looks like a fantastic show, all right, but how do elephants fit into an extravaganza about kazoos?
Well, the elephants are one of our big numbers, Wally. They're on stage with Hannibal, who carries the golden kazoos to the Chinese. We follow that with a very touching scene where the Chinese, in their appreciation, give the Western world the secrets of gunpowder and chop suey.
Mr. Doodleman, Hannibal crossed the Alps. Marco Polo visited China.
Well, Wally, we take a few liberties. Now, in another big scene, we have the friendly Indians showing the pilgrims how to make kazoos. Then Washington's throwing the kazoo across the Delaware, and then we take the kazoo all the way to modern times, right to the astronauts planting the first kazoo on the moon.
This is a fantastic show.
Wally, this is nothing. What's really fantastic is the Boca Raton Hotel. You can always find dancing elephants, but where can you find a hotel with beauty and charm and facilities like this? Oh, hold the kazoo chorus. We have to get the lights right. Now, Charlie, when the kazooers march in, I want the trooper spot to be crisscrossing. You follow that? Now, if you have problems, ask the hotel people. They'll show you. It's amazing. The hotel people are so cooperative here.
Mr. Doodleman, I guess your production is the most extravagant they've ever had here.
Wally, they've staged a full circus here. They could handle a road company of War and Peace in this hall. I never dreamed what could be done here. Can you imagine what we'll be doing next year? Anthony on the barge, 100 slaves playing sweet kazoo to Cleopatra, Nero kazooing while Rome burns, Moses bringing the kazoo down from the mountain, little Abraham Lincoln playing the kazoo by the fire in his log cabin, Thomas Edison inventing the electric kazoo.
Howdy, this is Lawrence Chuck Peterton, your novice sports reporter, coming to you from our new low-input station here in Elderhide, Montana. And as usual, because of budgetary limitations, our guest today is another sports figure who's had it. He's ex-swimming champion Nick Flail Edwards. And Nick, what are you doing these days?
Well, Chuck, I'm in the restaurant business in the town of Blair's Bend.
Like so many other ex-athletes, eh?
Oh, that's right. My restaurant is called A Stroke, and the specialty of the house is carp.
Well, isn't carp a fish that's hard to get, Nick?
Well, yes, but I have it flown in from New York, see?
The airport there at Blair's End?
Well, no. The nearest airport is 300 miles away in Loose Shale, and the carp is delivered by bus from Loose Shale. It takes about 5 days before I get the carp.
Well, how's business at your restaurant, The Stroke?
Well, I never go near the place. I rented an empty store about 100 feet up the street from The Stroke, and I conduct the business from there. But as for your question, I don't think I'm doing too well.
I see. Well, Nick, as a sports figure who's had it, what was the high spot in your swimming career as you look back now?
Well, I'd say in 1932, I became interested in underwater swimming, and that year I swam around Manhattan Island underwater.
Wow.
And stayed under for 7 hours.
That's a long time, Nick. Were you in any way affected by having been underwater for that length of time?
Well, Chuck, for about 2 months after that particular feat, I was unable to eat any food unless it was served on a hook.
Mm-hmm. Nick, as a swimmer who's had it, so to speak, what started you on your downfall? Could you tell us?
Well, it was in 1934. I attempted to swim the English Channel, And with all that grease on me, I sank like a stone as soon as I hit the water. And there was a lot of bad publicity, and things didn't go too well after that.
Well, what did you do when you found things weren't going so well for you?
Well, I kicked around. I got a job in the Everglades wrestling alligators.
How did that work out?
Well, it was a big scandal. A couple of alligators were caught throwing the bouts.
And after that?
Well, I got a job with a circus, jumping from a height of 300 feet into a tank filled with 2 feet of water.
Did you cut the mustard on that job, Nick?
Yeah, I sure did. Except on the night that the elephants get thirsty and drain the tank. The tank.
I guess it is an unhappy memory for you. The job must have toughened you up, however.
Well, it taught me that life is full of hard knocks. I'd say it did that.
Which brings us to the present. How come, Nick, you decided to go into the restaurant business?
Well, I found out that I could have carp flown in daily from New York City. And I wasn't going to pass up an opportunity like that.
Well, thanks very much for being with us today, former sports great Nick Flail Edwards. And when the great swimming pool is drained dry, I'm sure your name will be visible at the bottom.
Time to call in our famous announcer. I don't know if he's been on the show yet, Word Carr.
No, he hasn't.
I don't think people...
I didn't even know he was working again.
He's back, and we've assigned him to Hollywood, and he'll be doing most of his work from there. So Word Carr standing by now in the film capital. Come in, please.
Word Carr on the soundstage of MGL Studios here in Hollywood, reporting to Bob and Ray in New York. The filming of one of this fall's biggest motion pictures is underway, and we're fortunate today to be here to witness one of the most exciting scenes in the picture, which is going to be shot in just a few minutes. The picture Anatomy of a Jury, starring Flint Locke, Lawson Tisdale, with Mary Beth McLaughlin. I believe Flint Locke is going to have a word or two with us. Flint, before they shoot this scene, could you just say a word or two about the picture? And I might say you're looking great.
Well, thank you very much, and hello, fans everywhere.
Has become an overnight success, as you have in Hollywood, created any special problems for you, Flint?
Well, I don't know as I'm an overnight success for years. I was Annie Oakley's husband, you know, in a TV series.
I think you're being pretty modest there, Flint.
But this particular picture that you're here to see a portion of it filmed today is called Anatomy of a Jury.
Yes.
And it's a dramatic thing. It's my first dramatic role, really, where I can really sink my teeth into it. And I think I'm doing a wonderful job.
Well, I think after your fans see you in this picture, Flint, they will agree even more that you are one of the top-flight news stars on the Hollywood firmament.
A word coming from you, I know that's high praise.
Well, now, we're going to see. I see they're pretty well set up over there. The orchestra is sitting down, and they must be about ready to shoot the scene. This is where the jury comes in, is that right?
You see, I'm the foreman of the jury.
Quiet on the set, please. We're shooting take 213.
Well, Word, excuse me. I'll just go over and do... I was just pointing out that I am the foreman of the jury, and this is the climax of the whole picture. We come in now with
scene
the
we're
verdict.
about to see.
Quiet on the set. This is a take. Talk. Action. Music.
Mr. Foreman, have you reached a decision?
Yes, Your Honor, we have. We find the defendant...
Flint! Great, Flint. Nice going, Flint. Terrific take.
Thank you very much.
Flint, I wonder, could we have is the scene over?
Yes, that's all for today.
Well, we don't know how it actually came out, what the answer was, or anything. You can't give us an idea of what the return of the jury was?
The writers haven't decided yet. They don't know whether to have the fellow guilty or not guilty.
So on this note of suspense, and certainly one which will make us all want to see your picture, it's goodbye to...
All right, strike the set. Let's go.
Striking the set now, and this is Word Carr saying goodbye from Hollywood. Back to New York.
Thank you, Word. Back here in New York, we are indeed.
That's one thing I meant to talk to Word about before he went out there, was that he
He always kind of gets an interview or a description right up to the crucial moment, and then it just falls flat. No, we didn't learn anything about the picture from that.
Well, you know they are writing movies right up to the last minute, obviously. Now, here the writers haven't decided whether the fellow is guilty or not.
What's that? Oh, one of our writers can't decide how this show is going to end. He's in there.
All right, well, we'll think of something when we get to it. We have a few minutes yet.
Typewriter.
Standing in the wings, ready to be brought out here by our dear friend Webley Webster, are the wonderful McBabies.
Claude and Clyde McBeebe, the McBeebe twins, and their family singers who are with them again today. Hi, fellas.
Hi, Bob and Ray. Gee, it's certainly great to be back here. And we're just delighted that you've invited us here to hear the McBeebe family singers do one of the songs from our new album.
You made an album?
Yes.
Is it folk songs? That seems to be popular these days.
Well, what we've done here, Bob and Ray, is that we're trying to bring back around the lake. The row boat. Your Frere Jacques. Your Pop Goes the Weasel. And Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And all those old songs that you could tell around the lake.
I see, the familiar school rounds. Well, if all of the singers are ready, I don't see any reason to
point out to your audience has forgotten that these singers are all our children. And, of course, both my brother and I chime in to help out. These are all McBeebe kids.
Good. Well, we've waited quite a while to hear this.
Well, Bob, I think you should hear it before you turn pale like that.
All right, well, I'm all set. You go right over there with them, boys.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Now, kids, let's go.
One. Row, row, row your boat gently down the lake. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is bright. Row, 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 merrily down the stream. Merrily, merrily, row your boat. Row gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, stream, boat, row.
Okay.
Let them hear it. Really, really wonderful. McBeebies, I know you're under a great strain, but you came through there just A1.
Well, we hope you liked it. And the missus sent along this fruitcake for you.
Oh, I remember you brought a banana cake last time. Remember that, Ray?
How could I ever forget it?
How could we ever forget that, huh?
Well, she hopes you enjoyed this. And thank you. We got to go along now, get back into the car and head home.
Come on, kids.
Come on, little fellas.
There they go, Claude and Clyde McBeebe and their family singers. Let them get out, please.
So long.
Bye.
Oh, wasn't that the worst? Oh, those people should be shot on sight.
I mean, a round is not too difficult to sing. A simple one like that. Row your boat.
I didn't have the sense to look at the label on that album, but that company must be headed up by some idiot.
Either that, or might be their own.
Say, Bob and Ray. Forgot this. She also made this little scarf for you, Bob and Ray.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. One for each of us, huh?
No, forgot. Just the one. So.
All right. Well, thanks anyway.
But it's made by the Mrs. Hand. And thanks again for the nice things you said about it.
Look at that. Isn't that typical?
Skates. One scarf for Bob and Ray. How do you like that?
Well, you can wear it Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Well, I don't want to try this cake. I know that.
Well, did you get wind of it?
Yeah, well, after that banana cake.
Webley, would you please take this out the door?
What do you think? I'm a giant? You can't lift that cake.
It is heavy, I know.
It's a ton.
Flopped it down on the table there.
I'll try to get it out.
I'll drag it out if you can, will you?
All right.
That's good.
What's in this anyway?
Fruitcake, isn't it? Is that what she said it was?
Boy, they didn't take the fruit out of the can.
No.
Okay, standing by now is our favorite all-round weather forecaster, and I understand he's taken on a new facet. It's Clifford Fleming. He's not at Washington anymore. He's living in Manchester, I think.
So standing by now in Manchester is Clifford Fleming. On the phone, too. Cliff?
Hello, Dave.
Hi.
Clifford Fleming here, beside the weather blackboard. You might be interested to know, Dave, that spring actually came in yesterday, although this is the first full day of spring. The sun rose at 6:02 this morning, Dave. It'll set at 6:13, or did set, rather, 6:13 this evening. We can look forward to, Dave, next Sunday to a partial eclipse of the sun.
Yeah.
But let's not worry about next Sunday now. What we're mainly concerned with, of course, is the weather right at the... yes, Dave?
Cliff?
Yes.
You've been phoning us now for, must be 5 or 6 years.
Right, Dave.
And that's the one thing I wanted to talk to you about. I think my name sounds like Dave to you.
Isn't it Bob and Dave?
No, it's Ray.
Oh.
R-A-Y.
Well, I'm sorry I made that.
I hesitate to even mention it because we've let it go for so long.
That's good advice for me.
Sure.
But it isn't really good, is it, for all of us?
Well, Cliff...
according to the Farmer's Almanac, Dave, this period through the 23rd is going to be clear and cool in Washington and Oregon.
Yeah.
And eastward over the northern plains, it'll be warmer in the southwest with squalls on the Great Lakes and eastward and showers in South Atlantic states. I think my time is up, Dave. And until next time, remember, in some marriages, most troubles are relative. And this is Clifford Fleming saying good night and have a gasser.
Oh, this guy is really ham-boned it up, hasn't he? I wanted to ask him what that new facet was. I guess it was his delivery.
Well, it sounds like he's been watching weather shows.
Yeah, real folksy.